At the beginning of the movie, we see Camp Rock, where kids from all over the town are arriving for a weekend of camping and fun. Then we see our lead, Sage, arriving at camp. She's extremely excited to be there, and she's accompanied by her brother, Desi. Sage thanks their parents for bringing them to Camp Rock. Their parents tell them to spend some time together, but Sage and Desi aren't exactly getting along. Desi doesn't really want to talk to his sister because Sage left their band. Sage then says that she needs to forget about everything and just enjoy her time at camp, and she's more than ready to do exactly that. Meanwhile, we meet a boy named Cliff. His father has come to drop him off, and Cliff is extremely excited as he arrives with his sticks. Then we meet a girl named Rosie, who plays classical music on her cello. However, her parents aren't exactly fans of her music. Rosie arrives at her cabin and checks out her bed, only to find out that she'll be sharing the room with Sage. The two girls start talking and figuring out how they're going to arrange themselves between the upper and lower bunks. Then the two girls head outside, where all the campers are dancing and having fun. That's where Sage becomes friends with a girl named Danny Daniels, who already knows pretty much everyone at the camp. While they're there, the two girls spot the famous influencer, Maddie Batty. She's incredibly popular, and we even get to see Maddie show off her dance moves. Sage and Danny are impressed by her dancing, but they also start making fun of her. Meanwhile, we see the stars of Connect 3, the heroes from the previous movies. The three of them are performing on stage, and everyone is having a great time watching their show. However, the three band members still aren't getting along very well. Then we meet their manager, Angela White, who's trying to keep the three of them under control. Angela explains that the band originally booked to be their opening act has broken up, so they won't be performing anymore. That means they need to find someone else for the opening act. The problem is, each of the three stars wants a completely different kind of artist, and they can't agree on anything. That's when Shane gets an idea. He thinks they could find a singer at Camp Rock to perform as their opening act. Back at Camp Rock, we meet Connie, the camp director, and the mother of pop star Mitchie. She welcomes all the campers and explains how Camp Rock changed her daughter's life. Now, Connie wants to give these kids the same opportunity. So, the first thing she does is collect everyone's phones because she's determined to help discover the next star among them. Then the stars of Connect 3 come onto the stage. Sage and all the other campers are instantly impressed when they see their favorite stars right in front of them. The three stars then announce that their manager, Angela, will be staying at Camp Rock. She'll be holding a competition because they need a new singer for their opening act. Whoever wins the competition will get the chance to open for Connect 3 at their show. Hearing this, all the campers are thrilled. Now the campers have 2 weeks to complete 3 challenges. Most importantly, they'll have to write and perform an original song. If they win, they'll get the chance to go on tour with Connect 3. Naturally, all the campers are thrilled. Then Sage steps forward and starts singing. She's always dreamed of becoming a star, and this time, she performs her own song, making it clear that she's ready to do whatever it takes to win the competition. Meanwhile, at school, a boy named Fletch is being dropped off by a police officer. All the kids are shocked when they see him, and Fletch quickly heads inside. When he enters the camp, he accidentally bumps into Sage, and the moment they look at each other, it's love at first sight. Connie then arrives and takes Fletch to show him his room. Along the way, Fletch meets Cliff, who'll be staying in the same room as him. Meanwhile, Sage hears Rosie singing and is instantly impressed. She encourages Rosie to enter the competition. Rosie says she can't perform classical music there because most of the campers sing jazz. But Sage tells her that her voice is incredible and that she should give it a shot. Rosie thinks about it for a moment and finally agrees to enter, planning to perform with her cello. She then goes to Connie and submits her application. Rosie originally had completely different plans for her time at camp, so Connie is impressed by her decision. With that, Rosie leaves. Meanwhile, Sage and Danny are having breakfast together when Sage finds out that Danny isn't entering the competition. Dani admits that she isn't really into singing, but she absolutely loves dancing. Sage tells her to do whatever makes her happy. After that, Sage heads to the common dance room, which each student gets to use for 30 minutes. Maddie's 30 minutes are already over, so Sage tells her, "It's my turn now." Maddie points to her friends and says that the two of them are going to get their 30 minutes next, and only after that will it be Sage's turn. She starts making fun of Sage, so Sage walks away. Sage then goes to Desi and asks to use his room because she needs somewhere to prepare for the competition. But Desi refuses. Sage gets angry, but Desi still tells her that things between them will never be the way they used to be. Sage tells him that she's going to win the opening act competition, and she won't let anyone get in her way. With that, she walks away. Challenge 1 has officially begun, and all the campers are called in for their auditions. Angela is in charge of the auditions, and she quickly notices that some of the kids are incredibly talented. But a lot of them have absolutely no talent at all, yet they still show up and audition anyway. After the auditions, Angela selects several campers to move forward, and Sage is one of them. But then she notices that her brother Desi has also made it through. Sage asks him why he's competing, and Desi simply says it's his choice. Sage isn't happy about having to compete against her own brother, but Desi explains that they both have to do this because he wants to win the opening act competition too. A little later, Connie calls all the campers who made it through. She tells them they're going to attend a songwriting workshop to help them prepare for the next challenge. To help them out, Connie brings in a famous songwriter named Calvin Rhodes. Everyone gets excited because Calvin is one of their favorite writers. Connie explains that they'll be learning how to turn ordinary things into meaningful lyrics by expressing them through the language of love. Nobody really understands what she's talking about at first. So Calvin asks everyone to pair up and spend some time talking to each other so they can learn more about their partners. Eventually, the pairs are assigned, and Sage ends up with Fletch. Both of them are happy about being paired together. Meanwhile, Dani is practicing her dancing when she runs into Desi. He tells her he doesn't need the workshop, and he's not really that good at dancing anyway. Dani tells him that if he wants to perform in the opening act, he'll have to learn how to dance. But Desi says he probably won't need to dance much. The two of them clearly like each other, and after talking for a while, they go their separate ways. Back at the workshop, Calvin is asking all the campers about their partners. Everyone takes turns sharing little things they've learned about each other. Then it's Fletch's turn. He starts talking about Sage, mentioning how little crinkles appear around her nose when she talks. He continues pointing out all these tiny details about her. That's when Fletch decides he wants to turn those details into a song for Sage. Calvin agrees to let him try. Fletch then gets on stage and performs a beautiful song for Sage. The lyrics describe her as a sweet girl who dreams big and has huge ambitions. Sage is touched when she hears it, and even Calvin is surprised by how talented Fletch is. Later that night, Sage is hanging out with Dani and admits that she's starting to fall in love with Fletch. Dani is shocked to hear this, and the two girls start talking about him. Since Fletch arrived at camp in a police car, Dani thinks something might be wrong with him. But Sage doesn't care about any of that. Meanwhile, at the campfire, Cliff and Rosie spend some time together. Rosie starts opening up about her insecurities and admits that she's nervous because she never imagined herself taking part in a competition like this. Cliff reassures her and starts complimenting her. He then admits that he likes her. Rosie is happy to hear that. The next day, Fletch and Desi practice together, and the two of them start becoming good friends. They're having a great time together. Later, all the campers meet with Angela. She tells them that some of the kids have already been eliminated because they stole their phones from the office and told their friends about the competition, which was supposed to stay secret. Angela warns everyone not to make the same mistake, and the campers agree. Now it's time for the dance challenge. The campers have to keep dancing no matter what. If Angela touches them, they'll be eliminated and kicked out of the competition. The music starts, and everyone begins dancing. This is Maddie's specialty, and she's easily one of the best dancers there. Meanwhile, Angela walks around the campers eliminating them whenever their dancing isn't good enough. Eventually, she goes after Desi too. But Sage steps in between them. Angela then notices that Maddie has stopped dancing because of what's happening. So she eliminates Maddie and her entire group from the competition as well. Maddie immediately gets furious about being kicked out. By the end of the challenge, only 5 campers are still dancing. Sage selects those 5 for the final challenge: Cliff, Rosie, Sage, Desi, and Fletch. Angela warns Desi to pay close attention to his dance moves because he won't get another chance if he messes up next time. Hearing this, Desi gets nervous. Later, Desi meets up with Sage and Danny. Danny admits that she likes Desi, which completely surprises Sage. Desi then tells Danny that he needs her help with dancing. The two of them leave together, and Sage finds the whole thing pretty strange. Meanwhile, Angela talks with the members of Connect 3. They explain that they need to choose a singer who understands the challenges of being on tour. They need someone who can handle waiting for hours and being stuck in the same room for long periods, because being a star isn't as easy as it looks. Angela agrees that they need to consider that. Meanwhile, Sage and Fletch practice together, with Fletch teaching her how to write lyrics. Sage is already completely falling for him. Fletch then asks about her relationship with Desi. Sage explains that she left her brother's band because she wanted to take her music more seriously and become better at it. That's why Desi is still upset with her. Then Sage asks Fletch why he arrived in a police car, since everyone thinks he might be some kind of criminal. Fletch explains that he came directly from court because his mom had died. The two of them were all each other had, but now he's completely alone. He says the court was also deciding what would happen to him next. Sage apologizes after hearing this and tells him that she's actually happy he came to Camp Rock. Hearing that, both of them are happy. Then the 5 remaining campers come together to practice, but Maddie and her group show up and start making fun of them, calling them losers and ruining all their stuff. Soon, an argument breaks out, and everyone starts throwing things at each other. During the chaos, Maddie accidentally throws paint on Connie. Because of that, Maddie and her group are about to face serious consequences. 2 days later, Angela takes the 5 remaining campers to the next stage. She tells them that for the 3rd round of the competition, they'll have to stay inside the Camp Rock bus. Everyone is shocked by the challenge. Maddie and her group spot them and decide to get revenge. Maddie tells her friends to steal her phone from the office, and they agree to do it. Meanwhile, Angela explains the challenge to the 5 campers. They'll have to stay on the bus for 24 hours to prove they can handle life on tour. Anyone who steps off the bus will be eliminated from the competition. By nighttime, the campers are still on the bus, talking and trying to pass the time. But eventually, they start getting bored. So they begin opening up about their insecurities. They realize that the competition is actually giving them the courage to face those fears. As they become more comfortable with each other, their friendship grows stronger. Eventually, they all work together to create a group song, and they start singing it together on the bus. For the first time, they're genuinely having fun together. A little later, Sage and Fletch climb onto the roof of the bus and look up at the stars. Fletch feels like everything will be better after the competition, and that's why he wants to win so badly. He also admits that he never submitted his phone because he arrived after registration. Sage promises not to tell anyone about it. The two of them are about to kiss, but the other campers' voices from below interrupt them, so they don't get the chance. The next day, Angela sees that all the campers have successfully spent 24 hours on the bus. She's extremely happy and tells them that their final stage performance will take place in 2 days. For the final round, they'll have to perform an original song, and everyone agrees to take on the challenge. They all decide that no matter who wins, they'll always remain friends. Everyone loves the idea. As they're leaving, Sage starts talking to Desi. She compliments him on his new dance moves, but Desi is still upset because Sage left their band. He tells her that he needs his sister, not just in the band, but in his personal life too. Sage apologizes and asks him for another chance. Desi finally agrees, and the two siblings start dancing and singing together. A little later, Connie and Angela call all the campers into the office. They reveal that the song they performed on the Camp Rock bus was uploaded online by one of them and has already gone viral. Because of this, they're forced to eliminate everyone from the competition. Sage then admits that Fletch still has his phone. Fletch immediately hands it over. Connie and Angela send all the other campers outside and start questioning Fletch about how the video could have been leaked. The next day, just before the final performance, the three members of Connect 3, Nate, Jason, and Shane, arrive at Camp Rock. Being back at the camp brings back a lot of old memories for all three of them, and they're genuinely happy to be there. They realize they could now have the chance to change another young artist's life, just like Camp Rock once changed theirs. Then, Shane gets thrown into the water, bringing back even more memories from their old days at camp. Meanwhile, Sage apologizes to Fletch for revealing that he had his phone. She feels guilty because she realizes she only did it out of selfishness. Fletch tells her it's okay. He explains that Connie and Angela already figured out that Maddie was the one who recorded and leaked the video, so he was allowed to stay in the competition. Sage is extremely relieved to hear this. The two of them reunite, and Sage looks over at the rest of her group. As evening arrives, the three Connect 3 stars come out in front of all the campers. Everyone is incredibly excited for the final jam. Then Angela comes onto the stage and calls Cliff up first. Cliff steps forward and starts performing his rap. He's doing an incredible job, and then he finishes his song with a drum performance. Next, it's Rosie's turn. Rosie has completely changed since the beginning of camp. She starts performing with her cello, but then she puts it aside and transforms her performance, singing like a true pop star. Everyone is blown away by her newfound confidence. After that, it's Desi's turn. By now, he's learned how to dance, and he's already been an expert at writing songs. Because of that, Desi delivers an incredible performance. The three Connect 3 stars are thrilled with what they see, and Danny also joins Desi on stage for his performance. Finally, it's Fletch's turn. As usual, Fletch gives an amazing performance with his guitar, but at first, he still can't keep his eyes open while performing. Then, Fletch finally opens his eyes and confidently continues singing. Everyone in the crowd is thrilled. Fletch steps forward and keeps singing, making everyone even happier. In the end, it's Sage's turn. She walks onto the stage, but first, she tells her entire music team to leave. Sage explains that becoming a star has been her dream since she was a little girl, but after coming to Camp Rock, she realized that the people she was competing against had become some of her closest friends. She says that all of them have their own flaws, but deep down, they're all amazing in their own way. That's why she's decided not to compete against them anymore. Instead, she just wants to focus on giving the best performance she can. Sage starts singing, and soon, her entire team comes back on stage to support her. Each of them plays their own specialty instrument, and Sage is incredibly happy to have them there. She steps forward and performs with complete confidence. Sage starts having fun with everyone on stage, and the whole audience gets caught up in the energy. Finally, she and Fletch come together to finish the song. By the end of the performance, both the audience and the judges are completely impressed and happy. But there was one problem. Shane, Jason, and Nate all felt that the 5 finalists were perfect. Just then, Mitchie arrives, and the 3 of them are happy to see her. The 4 of them meet up, and Mitchie tells them that all 5 campers were incredible. She especially liked Sage, but she also thought the others were just as talented. The 3 stars ask her who they should choose, and Mitchie gives them the perfect idea. A little later, the 3 members of Connect 3 return to the stage. They explain that they originally came to Camp Rock looking for one person to be their opening act, but tonight, they realized that choosing just one person wasn't enough. Everyone is shocked when they announce that they aren't going to choose a single winner. Instead, they're choosing all 5 finalists as a group. Cliff, Rosie, Sage, Desi, and Fletch are all incredibly happy. Shane and Mitchie know how difficult life can become once someone becomes a music star. Now, these 5 will get to learn and experience it together. They also promise to meet up every summer. Sage then spots Mitchie and gets excited because she's been a huge fan of hers. Finally, the 5 campers perform together with Connect 3. Everyone has an amazing time on stage, and in the end, the real winners are the audience, who got to come to Camp Rock and enjoy the whole experience. And with that, this incredible movie comes to an end.